we don't have water. Well, we kind of do. We are about 2.5 miles into our hike today. We left at 8:45, and the problem that we have is our water filter stopped working. The one that I showed you guys yesterday or the day before, it's stopped working. It's just like a very, very slow trickle. It would take like an hour to fill half a bottle. So luckily we had iodine tablets, so that's what we used this morning. We have enough iodine tablets for maybe 3 days, so that means our last day probably we'll run out of the iodine tablets, so hopefully by then we'll have figured something out. Today's been pretty good. We left at 8:45, a little bit later than we wanted to, but that's because we had to figure out our water situation. But we're 2.5 miles in, and it's only taken us a little over an hour, so we're making good time. Hopefully we can get in to our camp quick. I'm nervous for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not as brutal as yesterday, but it's 11 miles. Yesterday was 9.3, so hopefully it's not terrible, but it's definitely not going to be easy. Glorious sun. We've been under tree cover all morning, so finally we get some we're gonna get a little bit of warmth, hopefully. I don't know if we're going back into the trees, but I'm so glad to see sun. Had a couple mishaps. There's a couple spots blocked on the trail by fallen trees. First one was relatively simple to get over. Second one was a pretty gigantic tree. Took a tumble, luckily didn't get too badly hurt. Just a little scrape on the leg. But an injury would not be good at this point in time. We got a river crossing here, no way around it.
Do you think people have walked on this?
Probably not.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, I would jump over to where you see those tiny rocks. Just don't fall. There you go. Not bad. There we go. Gore-Tex boots will save you. Can't even feel any wetness. That sounded weird. Oh man, this just looks amazing. So we just ran into the first humans that we've seen since we got here. First humans since we got dropped off at the trailhead 3 days ago.
Yeah, it was Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, and it's Friday. So that was a major sight for sore eyes. And
They were so nice.
they were so nice. Just the kindliest old people ever. They were day hiking. Also, they said back in their day they had done a 19-mile hike through here one time.
On the ridgeline.
On the ridgeline in a day.
Which is what we did yesterday.
Which is what we did yesterday, and we did 9 miles.
And we were dying.
I mean, I'm wondering if they did that during like summer months when they didn't have to trudge through snow and ice and mud and who knows. But I mean, still 19 miles is nothing to shake a stick at. But one, they told us 2 miles up here at the trailhead is actually like a parking area. They were doing a day hike. They weren't backpacking for an extended trip. So we're kind of reevaluating our itinerary, because if there's people coming in there, then we might be able to hitchhike over to Mammoth Hot Springs and kind of get that experience, and then go up to hitchhike back to Bozeman. Basically avoid that 11-mile hike tomorrow. I guess it's only 2 more hikes, right? It's this one and then the brutal one tomorrow, and then 5 miles. But they gave us half of a Subway sandwich, which I tried to deny, but they wouldn't let me. So we have more food that we can like actually eat. And 2, they gave us a lighter, so we can actually make fire, boil water for the other food that we had and boil water if we need to, but we got the iodine tablets. But that would be a solution for the last day when we potentially run out of iodine tablets. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now, trying to figure out if we should continue or take the easier way out and end it early. Can't decide. We'll figure it out on the trail. So we've solved the problem of the broken water filter. It was frozen. Because we used it last night and then we stopped and we left it out and it was pretty much freezing, right? So it froze between the time that we stopped using it, so it was all wet, and then it just froze. Because now we've let it thaw out, now we've got it in this water right here, and now this stuff is actually coming out. Before it was a trickle, now it's actually pumping out water like it's supposed to. So we constantly have new things going right for us, and we're still gonna try to consider bailing on this.
I'm cold and tired and gross.
Yeah, we think we're gonna take a different route back and end it early and go back to Bozeman, which is where we flew into. Simply for the fact that the hike tomorrow actually looks like it might be harder than yesterday. It may not have like the singular steep inclines that we had yesterday, but it's just long, strenuous uphill.
5 miles uphill.
Yeah, for miles on end. Plus, it's 2 miles longer than the hike we did yesterday. So I don't know that we're ready for it right now. So I think we're gonna take a different route back, and actually instead of heading to the east, we're gonna head south and to the west, and actually end up similar to where we had first planned to come out. At least we solved the filter problem. Finally came across some bear tracks. I took a picture. I'll throw that picture up on the screen now. I didn't record it. If I come across some more, I'll show it to you guys. But it was frozen, so it wasn't from today. It was from at least yesterday. I imagine that specific bear isn't wandering around here right now, but I've got the bear spray out just in case. The whole side of the mountain is just covered in rocks, like massive boulders. No bears though.
Not yet.
Not yet. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember.
Prairie dog, maybe?
No, prairie dogs are big. So we had two options. One, hike to our next campground, and then tomorrow hike to the trailhead. The other option was to hike straight to the trailhead, but apparently we missed the fork. Neither of us saw any sign for it, but we just got to this sign.
The fork was right where that WE1 campsite was, right before we, or right like when we met those people.
Really?
That's probably why we missed it.
So I think that sounds like the fork was right where we met the people,
so
and
we walked
past
by
the
this campsite, and then a couple hundred yards down we ran into people. So it was probably right there.
Oh,
I was gonna say, it felt like we'd gone more than like a mile or so. Well,
wow, so we had already done 5.8 miles at that point.
Yeah.
So if we had continued hiking the correct way, we'd be halfway to our
campsite.
We'd be halfway to our campsite. Oh well, we made our decision for us, because there's no way that I'm gonna hike 2 miles back up there and then 4 miles over.
Nope.
Because that would increase our hike to like 10 miles.
Yep.
So looks like we're gonna hitchhike. We gotta find someone.
Pick us up.
Worst comes to worst, the people that we met, their car's here, and so we could just wait for them to come by, but I'd prefer to. Yeah, they live in Jackson, which is awesome, but I'd like to find someone else. I don't want to make them do something else for us. Hitchhike for the first time.
Ever.
Hopefully someone picks us up, and hopefully they're not a serial killer. Thank you. Just not pulling. One moment. Well, thank you so much for taking
We really appreciate it.
So that was our hitchhiker driver, Thibaut, from France. He was pretty awesome, really nice.
Yep.
Drove us all the way back up here to Bozeman, where he was headed himself. Dropped us off at the airport where we could pick up a rental car. So we're gonna get the car, go find ourselves a hotel, clean up, go get some food, and enjoy the rest of our trip. We're gonna take showers. I mean, I think she's more excited to take a shower than I am. I feel pretty good. Yeah, we think we're gonna take a couple day trips down to areas around Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, and figure out some other cool places to see that we wouldn't have been able to see without taking a car. So I think it'll actually work out pretty well. This is our awesome rental mobile, brand new for 2016. I'm just kidding, I don't know what year it is. It's a Chevy Cruze, look pretty good, I like it. Fancy.
What?
The room, it's not a tent. Although I didn't mind our tent. I think our tent was very nice. So I think we're gonna get cleaned up. The guy at the desk suggested a good place for dinner. It sounded amazing. What is it called? Montana Ale Works?
Ale Works, yeah.
I'm excited. I want some beer. So we just made a run over to REI to return some of the stuff that we didn't need. Our lighter that didn't have fluid, and our stove fluid that we couldn't use because we didn't have a lighter with fluid, and our bear spray, which we didn't have to use because we didn't need a dye. So we just made a run over there, and I actually had a subscriber come up to me while we were in REI, so that was pretty cool. We're gonna go head over to Montana Ale Works. It had really good reviews on Google, and the guy at the hotel recommended it, so I'm looking forward to it. Gonna have some beers and some good food. I think this place is gonna be good, guys. This place is pretty awesome. Check out this dude we got.
Here, let me see if I can artfully.
You got the first bite. Tell me how it is. That really hit the spot. That was delicious. I had a bison burger and Abby had fish and chips. A couple beers each. It was really good. We're gonna head back to the hotel, probably watch some stuff on Hulu. And get an early start to the day tomorrow to hopefully, I think it's about, we were told it's about 3 hours down to Old Faithful. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. That's the end for the day. I'll see you guys in the morning.